This is going to be probably our most delicious podcast so far. We are here in Ithaca with Merlin, who's the owner of Hearthstone Bakery. Sort of state famous bakery here. Baked goods, delicious breakfast, lunch. Basically, they've got everything. And so, you know what we do with the Not Just Filler podcast is we lift up community businesses, community people, and sort of thank them for blessing others. So that's what we're doing today, Merlin. And I'm just hoping you'll give us a little history of how you got here in Ithaca and how long you've been here at the Hearthstone.
Sure. Well, this business started in 2007. The Littler family had a vision that Ithaca had a niche that needed to be filled, kind of a place for the community to gather, and good homemade, made from scratch food. Everything we make here is made from scratch, and everything we serve here is made from scratch. And it was just kind of started out as a small business with just a few tables and a bakery case, and it just grew and faster than probably anybody could have imagined. And in 2010, they actually did their first expansion. And then in 2013, the Littler family that was owned it at the time was kind of ready to move on to other ventures. And so my wife and I ended up purchasing the business from them and just kind of tried to expand on the vision and the base that they had built, which was very solid. They had really good ideas. And so I guess the rest is history, like they say. We've just been trying to keep up ever since. We have really good support from the community, and we employ around 25 employees here. It depends on the time of the year, but in the summer, of course, a few more. In the winter, a few less. So we essentially have three businesses here. We have the bakery, we have the restaurant, and then we have the frozen meals. We have frozen take and bake casseroles that people take home, and so they throw them in the freezer, and when they need a good hot meal, when they pull it out, it's ready to go. So kind of three businesses under one roof, I guess, and keeps us busy.
I know that I have friends who stop in Ithaca and come here while they're coming through. It's sort of their go-to.
Sure. So we're right on 127. And so, anybody in the Lansing-Jackson area that's going up north, which everybody does once or twice or several times a year, we're right on the way, and we have billboards out on the highway. And so we get a lot of tourists, a lot of customers that say each time we go up north, this is a must stop. So we appreciate that. That's good.
I can imagine that 2020 is a difficult year to have a business. And so I just want you to talk a little bit about, what it's looked for you, March, April, May. I'm sure we're sort of resetting your business.
Sure.
And then maybe just tell us about, it seems like you're doing okay. We're here at Hearthstone and it's packed.
Right. Well, we started hearing about COVID, early on in 2020, and, you always wonder where's it going to lead. And we got to the middle of March and everything kind of shut down, and we panicked like everybody else. We were fearful what would happen. Well, we were fearful for our health, our employees' health, and so we just decided to take all the safety measures we could and continue kind of doing what we're doing, being here for the people. There was a lot of panic at the beginning. Stores was running out of bread. There was a lot of, even the Staples yeast and some of those things were, shelves were emptying out. And so, I have a good following on Facebook here, we do. And so I put out a couple of posts in the beginning that said, we're here for you every day. We're going to have fresh bread every morning. You don't need to worry. And I think in one of my posts I said something to the effect that to our customers, if you have our back, we'll have your back. And we have excellent support. And we have felt the love and the support of the community all the way through it. And we think we kept our end of the bargain, and they certainly kept their end of the bargain.
Sure.
And so, we've just tried to be a stable place, a safe place where they could come and, just buy the food for their families that they need, and maybe a few goodies that they don't always need. But we can.
Yeah, we're about to get into that with the cinnamon roll. Do you have any thoughts about sort of the challenges for the next 2 years, or just general having a small business,
Sure.
the challenges that come with that?
Well, of course, the first thing that comes to mind is the uncertainty. We don't know going into the fall or the winter with the traditional flu season coming on again. What's going to happen? Is there going to be, more outbreaks, more shutdowns? Of course, no one knows that. So that's always a worry for a business owner. It's a little bit of a challenge to know as far as investments. We've thought about expanding. There's times we really need to have a bigger kitchen here, more dining space. Is that a wise decision in this environment or not? So those are challenges. Probably the biggest challenge we're facing right now is in terms of finding people that can and will work. With the online school that's going on, a lot of our employees who have children have decided to stay home and help their kids with their online classes. And so we have kind of an employee shortage.
Yeah.
And with good intentions of the government to help everybody in this time and increase unemployment benefits and increase some of the other benefits that the state helps out with.
Sure, so folks are making decisions sometimes. Do I want to go back to work or do I not because I'm receiving
It makes it a little tougher for small businesses to compete with that because we can't automatically raise our wages to sometimes to compare with what's going on out there. So, and it's just really nobody's fault. It's just the way the challenges we face.
You have a substantial takeout business. I assume that's helped in a time when maybe people haven't felt as comfortable.
Yeah. So the frozen meals that I mentioned earlier, really that's what carried us through the first few weeks of the pandemic, around the shutdown. We were selling several hundred of those every week, and so that kind of took the place of the dine-in meals. And so that's along with, like I said, the fresh bread and all of that, it all seemed to work together to pull us through. I only actually had to lay off a half a dozen or so employees. The rest of them I was able to, shift their responsibilities. Instead of a waitress, now they were helping make the frozen meals. So I was able to keep probably 15 or 16 people working all the way through.
That's a big deal.
So, I was really happy about that.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get into the fun stuff. So tell me, when you sit down for breakfast or lunch, what's your go-to here?
Well, I'm kind of partial to the French toast.
Oh.
Yeah, the omelets.
Okay, yeah.
So, those are both real popular for us. We have our own butter syrup that we make, and most people like that rather than the maple syrup. And the burritos are good.
Burrito is my go-to when I do office hours here. When I did office hours in public, I would do the burrito, and then I'd throw gravy sauce on top of it, and extra potatoes inside it.
The sausage gravy, we get our sausage from a local business in Maple Rapids, Dewey's Trading Post. So we're able to kind of, we buy a lot of our products from the local grocery store here. We try to buy local as much as we can, and that sausage though, that's a winner. That's not, when we started using that, it took our sausage gravy from good to excellent.
Yeah, I have half of it, and then I go home and I take a nap. I'm going to try this. This is a famous cinnamon roll. I don't know if we can get this on, but this is the famous cinnamon roll. So I'm going to take a bite, and I mean, this thing is it's like an experience.
It's one of our best sellers. It's one of the things that kind of put us on the map, so to speak, the cinnamon roll.
I want to bathe in it. All right, so we want to say thank you to Merlin. Merlin, I appreciate you sort of blessing this community and letting me shoot and jumping on the Not Just Filler podcast. And I know it's not an easy year to be a small business owner, but...
well, one thing that has forced us to do as business owners, we tend to get in a little bit of a rut and do things like we do things, and this has forced us to rethink how we market ourselves. It's forced us to rethink how we, the offerings that we are, forced us to rethink our menus. So, going forward, it's going to be good, I think. I feel confident that, when things get back to whatever the new normal will be, we're going to have an expanded customer base. We're going to have get some new ideas, and hopefully, we'll all look back and it'll have been a positive experience overall.
Yeah.
So
I can imagine.
definitely the cinnamon rolls will be staying.
Thank you, and I appreciate that from me personally.
Sure.
All right, guys, thanks for watching Not Just Filler. We're here in Ithaca at Hearthstone Bakery. Spectacular place, and I just encourage you always to support your small businesses. So, thank you.